Baseball for president!
Hundreds of people gathered in Union Square over the weekend to watch him eat an entire container of Cheeseball.
And who is and what is Cheeseball, man?
3 things about me is that I love this city. I think this world needs more community. And I ate an entire jar of Cheeseballs at this very location 5 days ago. You know, I think people don't take chances on very many things. And I had this idea about 2 years ago, and I just never did it. And then one day it just kind of hit me. It was like 6 months ago. And I just wanted to get it done and do something different. And I think it was a stupid idea, but I think it brought the city together, you know. As soon as 3 o'clock came around, I put my mask on and I ran through the crowd. And then at that point, I picked up the jar and I just one at a time. It's all kind of a blur because, you know, when you're eating that many calories, it kind of just goes over your head, you know. If I show my face, it's like I'm doing it for a reason, but I just wanted to do it because it was funny. You know, I think there's tons of people that do things for money or do things for fame. Sometimes you just got to do something to do it, you know, even if it is in front of a big crowd, you know. It really could have been any. Maybe next year I'll hire an actor to do it for me. I don't know. Right now, my big kicks are like Frank Ocean. I like ABBA's a big one. I'm a big fan of ABBA, you know.
Yeah, Dancing Queen.
Dancing Queen, you know. I was a pretty interesting kid in high school. I did stuff like this often, actually, but nothing in public because, you know, everyone knows me in my high school, so it wasn't anything crazy. But I think doing it in public was kind of great. Like, there was one time me and my friends, I dressed up like a gorilla and my other friend dressed up like a cowboy, and then we fought in the school. But other than that, you know, I haven't really, nothing in public like this. What is my favorite curse word? I like combinations of words, you know, I like to be a little bit creative.
Sure.
So I like to say like shit ass a couple times, you know, something that stands out, because if you're trying to emphasize words, you have to be a bit more creative with them, you know. I also say buns a lot, like, oh, instead of saying something's ass, saying it's buns, just, I don't know, it feels more intentional. I think the worst mistake I've ever made, and I continue to make it, is going too hard on myself. You know, I work really hard, and sometimes I could be hard on myself. You know, it's really, you're your own biggest critic in life, you know?
100%.
And I think people are generally really hard on themselves. So I'm definitely, you know, I work really hard and I get a lot done, but sometimes I don't put things in perspective. You know, I live a pretty normal life, all things considered. Well, it is pretty crazy, but it's just a different type of crazy. And this has been something I've never experienced before. You know, even walking here, people kept coming up and taking pictures. Like, I didn't know I had that crazy of a reach, but I got stopped like 10 times just walking like 3 blocks, and people were just like, it's a Cheese Puffs man, which, cheese balls, but, you know, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. You know, my life's kind of changed, but no one can really know that it's me. So, yeah, you know, you can learn something from everybody.
It's so true.
You know, even if you're 60 years old, talking to a 5-year-old can give you some new perspective.
Yeah.
Everybody has so much to give in this world, and sometimes we shut ourselves off because we have expectations for other people, but you'll never know until you actually talk to somebody. And you got to make sure you write things down. You know, journal every day. You got to journal every day. Otherwise, it's like, what were the days for? You got to make sure you remember things. I've journaled every day for the past 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Or 4, I guess. It's been 4 years. You know, you got to make sure, chronologically, write everything out, and then, you know, talk about how you feel. I think it's super important. Oh, I've got it. I guess the question that I like to pose is, you know, who would you be if you knew you could never fail? I think it's fantastic. You know, people get cold feet going into things that they care about, but who would you become if you knew you could never fail? You know, you'd be the best version of yourself, putting yourself out there, meeting people you love, doing things you love. That's all life is about, you know?
Yeah.
Eating a jar of cheese balls in Union Square Park at 3 p.m. on April 27th, 2024. That's all life is about, you know? You know, when there was about a third left, I didn't think it was possible, but when there's one thing remaining, when you're at the very end of something, it's super easy to finish it out. You know, it's the middle section that people don't think about a lot. When you make a friend at first, it's super easy to pour your love into them, and then when they're saying goodbye, it's really easy to pour your love into them. But that middle section of the cheese ball jar is like a pretty tough one, you know? You don't really think about that. You think about the start and the end.
Yeah.
But the middle section's where it's game time, you know? Middle section of a friendship, of a job, of anything, you know? Because I was tired, you know, I was still jet lagged. And after eating the whole jar of cheese balls, as soon as I got back to my apartment, I just lost it, you know? Crashed for about 14 hours digesting all the balls, you know?
What was the first poop like?
It was fine, actually. I had no problem with my stool. It was mainly just my mouth hurt. You know, they cut up the inside of your mouth when you eat starchy things like that. So literally for like 2 days, it was just blood and gross stuff, but I did it for the people, you know? Sometimes you just gotta thug it out, you know?
Are you concerned about your health when it comes to the cheese?
If I just do it once a year, you know, what's the harm?
Sure.
Or if I just do it once, or if I do it every day, you know, we only live once. You know, isn't everything temporary? A tattoo, eating a jar of cheese balls, it all goes away anyways. Who cares?
What are you gonna do in the next year leading up to the next event?
Probably gonna see my family a decent amount, maybe meet some people that I love, you know, create some things maybe, live my life, and then the day before the event I'll probably start stressing about it, and then I'll do it, and then, you know, I'll do the same thing, spend time with people I care about, and then eventually die.
Another day, hold up, we coming back. My name is Cheeseball, man, I spit all the facts, hold up. And I be eating cheese out the container, and hold up, my teeth is nice, I don't need a retainer.
Well, I was in Japan, you can't really freestyle there because no one understands what you're saying.
Are you happy?
Am I happy?
Yeah.
Look at this city! How could I not be happy, you know? It's beautiful here, look at all these people. No one even cares that I'm dressed like a silly little man. I was here 5 days ago and I had a crowd of 3,000 people. This is the best city in the world, you know? How can I not be happy? What a silly question. Look at you.
Yeah.
Cheese balls! Thank you, appreciate ya. I had to get my hand ripped open at some point. I caught a football like this. It was really cool. I caught it in the end zone and then I broke this finger and then they had to slice it open and then move my bone up. And I had to wear a cast for like a year. And it was just my pinky that broke too. It was crazy. That's the most physical pain, but realistically it's heartbreak like everyone else.
That's gonna be my next question, is like, what's the most non-physical pain you've ever been in?
You know, actually I think it might have been 2 days ago. You know, I was with this lovely person for so long. I was with them for maybe 3 years. And they ended up getting together with one of my good friends. And they kept it secret from me. You know, it's a good thing I've had this Cheeseball Man thing to escape in. I feel betrayed, you know? You ever feel betrayed? It doesn't feel nice. It hurts. It hurts to be betrayed.
I'm sorry about that, bro. That sucks.
It's okay, you know, it's a chip on my shoulder, it's flame to the fire, it's a reminder to really put love and care into the relationships that are here, you know? No, I was getting off an interview actually for this whole Cheeseball Man debacle, and then I get a bit of a ring and the beans were spilled. But it's nice because I get to escape into the mask like this, you know? I could say my biggest inspiration is my mom. I love my mom. She does a lot for me, you know.
That's really
She's not really funny, but she's super nice and caring, and I've tried to carry that, you know, into stuff like this. You know, she would never do something like this, but she really, you know, she puts her best foot forth, and I like that about her, and I've tried to do the same.
Yeah.
And also, I really like Superbad. Superbad's a good movie. I like media, I like people, I like things. Everything that we've ever seen has been made by somebody. Isn't that interesting? Like this, you see this? This was made by somebody. Isn't that weird to think about? Like everything you see before you, look out here. Literally everything you see was made by a person. It's comforting and scary, you know? Like how many people's love and passion went into this park alone? Thousands, more than thousands probably. It's crazy, you know?
What about like a forest? Like, was that made by somebody? Like, not really.
Yeah, a forest is an exception, I guess, but a forest is made by nature. It's kind of beautiful, you know? Everything on this planet at this point has been affected by a human, which is really interesting to think about. Even blades of grass, you know, they're planted by a person.
Yeah.
Like this was made by somebody. I chose cheese puffs because I had them for the first time like 2 years ago and they were pretty good. I don't eat snacks a lot, you know, I'm a pretty straightforward guy. I eat carrots and bananas and a peanut butter sandwich, you know, I'm not too crazy. Like I don't buy snacks. Snacks are kind of gross, you know, I feel gross after eating a snack. But I chose cheese puffs because they were funny. You know, I wanted this to be an event that people came to. I just didn't expect people to come to it.
Cheeseball Man!
Oh, hey.
Holy shit, dude, it's so nice to see you, dude.
All right.
Cheeseball Man, delicious.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Oh my god. Yeah, you want a Krispy Kreme?
You want a donut? In your bag, it's
Their full face. Like the most I ever talked to someone.
Really?
Yeah, I like it.
I appreciate it. Have you never like talked to somebody on the internet? It's really beautiful.
Like, I don't know if that, I guess, all right, excluding that. Have you ever, what's like the most beautiful internet interaction?
Oh my goodness, I've met so many people on the internet. You know, I grew up kind of like a bit of a loser. You know, I was playing lots of like Counter-Strike and Pokemon on my little computers and DSs. And so I was in TeamSpeak servers and Discords, and you know, a lot of the people that I met back 12 years ago are now really good friends. You know, I went to Canada with them. I went to one of their weddings. I was their best man. You know, we met in a silly little video game. The beauty of the internet is just fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, this event wouldn't have happened if not for the internet.
Yeah.
Shout out to the internet. This place is fucking fantastic, you know? Most beautiful thing I've ever seen. There was an art exhibit in Japan. It was called Team Labs. And during one of the exhibits, you sit on the floor and you look at the sky, and it's like a giant dome, and it's flowers. And I sat there and I didn't say a word or move for like an hour, and I just cried. Art's beautiful, you know. Is this weird to say in this? I feel like I'm a walking juxtaposition. Male, perché io ho parlato con la mia zia.
Perché lei ha manticato la lingua italiana.
Di dove sei in Italia?
Vuol dire manticare, you forgot the language, that's why.
See. You know, I'm a big fan of actionable things. You know, I could sit here and tell you about life, love, and happiness, but I think the most important thing I could probably say is to just use today to text someone you love, you know. Make sure you smile more, give someone a hug. There's so much you can do to make this world a better place. You know, maybe it's doing something silly, or maybe it's, you know, sending someone a heartfelt text. Just do something, you know. It's really hard to snap back into reality, but you just need a reminder every once in a while, I guess.